What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
A couple quick reminders that this is your last week to download Vampire and Need for Speed Payback. Both offer for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back at the end of this month, which is in like a week, for Plus Club. Let us know what we thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of them. And our game of the month randomly picked is Dragon's Dogma, which is the third person action RPG with pawns and monsters. You fight. Make sure to play that. Come back at the end of this week as well for Game of the Month. We're going to be discussing that. Also talking about how you guys will be able to pick the Game of the Month for December throughout November, and also picking a game for November. So it will be a very interesting episode for you to come check out and join the conversation. Type in hashtag AskTLG on your comment if you'd like it to be considered for our segment on TastyCast, where we read your comments and reply to them. If you don't type in hashtag AskTLG, I pick at random. So now you know, in case you didn't. We have a Discord link down below. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And you can support us by watching this video, liking, commenting. Liking is so important. If you guys can like this video, that'd be fucking dope. And we have a Patreon link down below if you'd like to support the channel even further than all those options. It's all appreciated. Thank you. And yeah, Tasty Tuesday. We got two things to talk about. One that is a little personal to me, so let's just jump into that right now. And that is that Sony's come out and let everybody know that Destruction AllStars is coming in February. This was originally supposed to be a launch title, and they have delayed it to February, apparently putting it out on PlayStation Plus. There's a very small blog that they put out, PlayStation.blog put out, describing why they did this. We're going to read that and discuss it. Real quick, I want to throw out there before I read this, I have pre-ordered the PS5. I pre-ordered it in a bundle, and this is one of the games that's supposed to come in that bundle. So I'm very interested on how my bundle is going to be affected by this. So we'll talk about that. All right. The blog says, "Hi, everyone. We wanted to share a quick update on our plans for Destruction AllStars. We've decided to move the game's release from November 2020 to February 2021, so not that far off, where it will be included for 2 months in PlayStation Plus at no additional cost. Destruction AllStars is a multiplayer game that's at its best when you're competing with gamers online from all around the world. We want as many people as possible to experience the mayhem on PS5, and what better way to do that than to provide the game to our PlayStation Plus members. Next week, we'll return with a brand new trailer and more details on the game, so you'll know exactly what to expect when you download it in February. This may be disappointing news for some of you who are looking forward to play the game at launch, but we hope you understand the decision for those of you that have already pre-ordered the game. Be it via PlayStation Store, PlayStation.com, or at retail, your purchase will be refunded. Thank you for your continued support. We look forward to seeing you in the arena in February." So this game is supposed to come out at launch. It is being pushed back to February of 2021, and it will be free for 2 months on PlayStation Plus. Kind of an early PS5 bonus. You're getting essentially what would have been a brand new PS5 game on PlayStation Plus real fucking early. So what do we think about this news? Do we think it's good? Do we think it's bad? And how do you think it's going to affect maybe how well this game does? And do you think they should have released it as a premium pay-for game, or do you think it's better off that they have released it for free on PlayStation Plus?
Well, firstly, it's not like a huge delay, so I'm not like super worried about it in that regard. It just seems like either they're doing it to fit into this plan, or the game needs a little more work. Either way. I think those are both pretty okay, especially because it seems like they're handling the refund situation well, which is good to hear. It is a little more of a gray area, obviously, with people who have situations like yours, but yeah. I have a feeling the retailers are going to be put in a position where they have to either swap the game out or...
Demon's Souls?
Oh, wow, yeah, that'd be a good one. Or
complain.
Or offer... an accessory, or maybe like
credit.
PlayStation Plus time or credit or something. Yeah, I mean they'll have to do something.
Hopefully not cancel my bundle.
Yeah, hopefully not. And if they do, hopefully they give you the option to change it instead of just taking it from you.
GameStop already fucking canceled my Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition.
Tweet Reggie, since he's a what was that? Advisor for them now.
Master of GameStop.
Yeah, the only thing I really have to add to this at all is it coming out in February is probably a good idea. It's right after the holiday season. More people will have the opportunity to get the system. It's also a PS5 game that people will get to play for 2 months. You know, they have the opportunity to get their hands on this game. It is an online multiplayer game for next gen. It may not be like what everyone wants, but I think it is a good way to get people to have something to play in the early lifespan of the console. And I do think by offering it for free this way, you're going to get more people to play and try it. I mean, look at things like Rocket League or Fall Guys. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my thoughts on it.
I'm mixed on this. So my first thoughts on this is part of a bundle that I pre-ordered. So the confusion on that is not fun for me. I'm like, okay, so what are they going to do? Is this going to affect me negatively?
Right.
I was actually talking with a coworker today, and I told him, because we started speculating on what could be done about that game being taken from the bundle. I'm like, as long as I get my bundle and I get something replaced that takes up the value of that, yeah, I won't complain, because I only pre-ordered that bundle for the PS5. I want the access to the PS5. Whatever the fuck comes with it, I don't really care. As long as it's equal to that value, or I'm getting that bundle's value in worth. So yeah, that's pretty much where I stand. So hopefully they can do that. This is a game that I want to play every game. So this is a game I was curious about playing. Oddly enough, this is not a game that I was like gonna rush out and buy unless I heard great things about. But it's because it was bundled. I was like, oh yeah, I'll play it
for sure.
But for anybody who might be curious about what bundle I'm talking about, I have the bundle that was on GameStop's website. It's the PS5, the controller, I think a second controller, Destruction AllStars, not anymore, Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and a year of PlayStation Plus. So it is only one of the components, but I think this was like a $70 game. I saw a lot of people on Twitter bitching about, like, you were going to charge us $70 and give it all this PlayStation. Like, there's, doing Twitter shit. So anyway, the value aspect and how this affects my purchase or potential purchase on my pre-order is my biggest concern, really. As long as I get my PS5, that's all I really care about. And as long as I don't get ripped off, they don't charge me the whole amount and not give me the game. That's what really is the only thing I'm thinking about. Maybe also that, if this becomes like, well, it's not going to be free to play. It's going to be on PlayStation Plus. I'd say if it went free to play, they could give me like in-game credit or something, but I don't want that. Anyway, that's my concern. Outside of that, I just said that this isn't a game I was really too stoked about picking up, but it's coming with a bundle. I can only imagine a lot of people feel that way. And the people who got this bundle will be playing with me briefly. And the people who decided to buy the game will be playing with us. There's a lot of people who have no interest in this game. I saw it on Twitter. I've talked to people in person who are like, yeah, you'll have to let me know if that's any good or not. So as a launch title, people, of course, were going to buy this, but there's other games people are going to want to pick up first. It is a next-gen PS5 game, so I feel like it's worth, picking up and playing. But I can only think of how doing this will only benefit the game. You're putting it on PlayStation Plus, so everybody who has their PS5s in February will most likely download this. It's a fucking free PS5 game that's not being released otherwise. So you're going to have a lot of people who might have not bought this game trying it, and some of them might stay with it. A lot of people are like, yeah, it doesn't look that good, though. Yeah, maybe it doesn't look good, but maybe it is good. Maybe a bunch of people who think that, including myself, play it, and it's fucking awesome.
See, and I thought it looked interesting. But
I think it looks cool.
Not like new game price interesting. So
Sure. Yeah. I'm just excited to get my hands on anything for the PS5. Not something that translates over. I want to play PS5 games. You can't play anywhere else. And I include PS4. Like, I want that next-gen game. So I think community-wise, people playing it, population-wise, this will be a benefit to the game. I also think if the game is not a complete piece of shit game, it'll be a benefit to get people who were going to play it, but also people who were not going to play it, to play it and maybe get more initial people playing it than they would have got, period. Especially if it was a full $70 game, which people are complaining about. It might not be. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. even if it's $60, even if it's $50. Maybe that's steep for people looking at a game that they're not too interested in, that they wouldn't pick up. So I think it's a good thing. It's also smart because it's an early. It's a straight up PS5 game that was going to be sold premium that they're giving out a couple months after the release of the PS5. It's kind of like a welcoming gift almost to people on PS5. Like, hey, PlayStation Plus, you're familiar with it. Here's a PS5 game.
Well, and the timing's good too, just because of the fact, like, I had kind of brought up before, launches in November, holidays are in December, and then January is all gift cards that people got. No reason I even have any say on this at all is because when I worked at GameStop, January is crazy. So that gives all that shopping time out of the way. February, everything calms down, so it's a great time for them to go, okay, here it is. Everyone has had time to shop. So
I just feel like two last things that are kind of on both sides of where I'm at on this. I hate how last minute they did this.
For sure.
This shit's about to fucking drop.
A week or two, yeah.
Yeah. This shit's about to drop, and they're like, oh, psych, it's coming out in February. Not a big deal, but a lot of people pre-order this shit, and a lot of people like me have this bundled in with their pre-order. So everyone's going like, what? Okay, I guess I'm getting a refund? What's going on here? So I'm there with everybody on that. But at the same time, shit, I had a different point I was going to make. I completely forgot it. What was I going to say? I just completely lost it. Anyway, that sucks. That's so last minute. But, I remember now. I feel like they looked at the reception of this game and noticed that they were going to get some sales for sure, but I don't think it's the sales. I think they want the game to last. I think they want people to play it and stay on it because nobody wants to make a game and just have it drop off in a month or two. It's a launch title game. It's not going to have the longevity unless it's a real fucking banger.
Right.
I think they made an executive decision to go, let's release it to all PS5 users so we can maximize the amount of people who play it. I just hate how last minute they did it. Sure. But I feel like that was a real conversation because when you look at the comments of people talking about this game, nobody's impressed with it. Nobody. And so many people are like, so self-entitled, but so many people are like, yeah, they should give that game away for free. And other people are like, you haven't even played it. And they're like, I don't need to. And I'm like, oh my God.
Plus isn't free.
Yeah. But, so yeah, I feel like, they made that decision last minute, but I feel like it's to benefit the game, like I've said a million times at this point. And I think overall it will be better. I think it was a smart move outside of the confusion and the last minute aspect of it. All in all, as long as I'm not fucked on this in any way, I'm okay with it. Completely happy with it. I think it's a smart move. I think it's a better move. I also like I said earlier, kind of, it's not a free to play game. This is the full game just coming out on PlayStation Plus. And, that's been successful for Rocket League. It's been successful for Fall Guys. Yep. So it's a smart move, in my opinion.
For sure. I have a feeling too, and obviously I don't know how GameStop's online stuff works, but
shitty.
At least in store when you were doing bundles, you still rang up everything individually. So
that's what I feel like. But translating that into my purchase online or my pre-order online, there's just a vacancy there and an initial price point for the whole bundle.
Have they charged you yet?
No, they charge on the day it ships.
Okay, so I have a feeling they can just change the bundle and then just tell you they're changing it and maybe just make it cheaper or something.
Well, if they lower the price, great. I'm cool with that. I'm also cool if they just gave me the game's worth in credits to GameStop.
Yeah, so
I don't care.
So I think that changes it up a lot because they don't have to refund you anything. They literally just have to change it.
Yeah, it just seems like a lot of work in their systems to do that. So it kind of sucks for, I guess, everybody. So I just hope nobody gets fucked on this when they're doing all that. So
agreed.
Because whatever happened with my Cyberpunk Ultimate Edition, when they delayed it, I assume that's when it happened. I never got an email about that. I just checked my thing and it's like null, NA. I'm like, oh, okay. And now I check, it's not there anymore. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for canceling that for me. Anything else you want to say on this?
We'll see. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah. Any interest in playing this?
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. I hope it's good. I hope everybody enjoys it, and I hope anybody who gets a PS5 will check this game out because it was originally supposed to be a launch title. So this isn't just some random game that was unsuccessful. They're literally delaying the fucking release of this game. So so let us know in the comments what you guys think about this delay to PlayStation Plus in February, a PS5 game coming out that early for the PS5 owners. Are you interested in playing Destruction All-Stars? Did you have this game pre-ordered or bundled? Were you interested in picking this up? Were you not interested in picking this up? Will you play it? Are you curious about that at all? And do you think there's anything bad about this? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's somewhere in between? Let us know everything you're thinking about in the comments below. Second bit of news is a video for Xbox Series XS. That fucking broke my brain. I was like, is this official NextGen walkthrough, full demo, 4K? This is essentially their answer to the same thing. I don't remember if this came out before or after. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. We recently watched the PS5 UI demonstration. They showed off a lot of the features that the UI did with the PS5. If you're curious about that video, go back and watch that. But this is essentially Xbox's version of that demonstration. They'll be showing off the Xbox XS and Series X and Series S. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it, and we'll discuss it afterwards. Is there anything you're looking for when it comes to the Xbox? We've talked many times about the multiple iterations of the Xbox One UI, the
360, the original Xbox. Microsoft's not a stranger to that.
And we did fairly say that the PS3's UI was pretty fucking minimal and kind of laggy towards the end of its life cycle.
For sure. And honestly, you have a Pro, you might not be dealing with it, but my PS4 is a little laggy.
I keep hearing these stories, and I'm not experiencing that. So,
but it is the end of life again.
Yep, 7 years of that. That's so weird to think of hardware that old. There's not a whole lot of things we keep around for 7 years.
I don't know. My video card's probably getting close.
Not mine, although mine got made obsolete overnight.
Get obsolete.
So talking about that, I was going to ask you, what are we hoping to see out of this video? And anything you're really looking for. One thing I can think of is I want to see out of the gate a very clean, simple, easy to use UI for the Xbox Series X and S. I'm assuming they'll share the same UI. And something nice. I think Xbox always eventually nails it. They get there, but I'd like to see them start there. Anyone who's an Xbox fan listening to that's not criticism necessarily. It's just like my own personal opinion. I typically don't like where Xbox starts when it comes to their UI, but I like where they go eventually. They eventually nail it. So anyway, I'd like them to nail it. Also, I'd like to see, I know they added a share button. Hopefully they elaborate on that a bit. We still haven't seen anything on the create button for the PS5. I'd like to know a lot about that. But the PS4, no stranger to the share button. They essentially, standardized that. There's always been kind of features like that before, but they made it simple. Xbox is doing something similar this time around, so I'd like to see something on that. And any features, obviously, that I don't know about. I'm definitely curious. I want to know about them.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really have like a whole lot of like wants out of it as much as I have a couple things I don't want that they have done in the past. I don't want there to be a ton of clutter on the screen, because that's one thing, especially the early iterations had, that I didn't really like. Like you said, clean. I want it to look clean.
Well, and the Xbox One made the mistake of following one of the most hated OSs. And then once they jumped ship from that, so did Xbox.
Yeah.
With that boxed fucking look.
And then I don't want shoulder button menus the way they have it set up, like where there's tabs, essentially. I don't want tabs on my home screen. Like, just...
I have a feeling they will have those.
They probably will, and I'm not a fan. It's not like I'm going to rage over it or anything like that. It's just something I personally am not into. I don't really like it.
It's interesting because they do have tabs, and the PS4 also has different sections, but you just use the D-pad to go up to them, move over, and move back down. They have that system of just crosses.
Sure, but like the Xbox has both.
It has both, yeah, but it does. I'm just thinking it's funny because like they're the same but completely different. because you are still moving over to different sections. One's just like, this is the store, this is the home menu, this is the blah, blah, blah. Whereas there's different experiences for sure.
They are
but
different.
I think I prefer PS4's
The
over
PlayStation
tabs
one's
too.
a little more minimal.
Yeah.
And I prefer that. Just because, you know, it's a controller, not a keyboard and mouse, right? Because on a mouse, I can just click on things that I want type thing. And then you can argue that, well, you can just hit the shoulder button. And yeah, I can. You're right. But I think the feeling of just being able to, like, select something real quick with a D-pad and just clicking on it and then being where I want to be versus
moving to a different page.
Just moving to another page and then
things.
also still doing the D-pad thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's still there. So, like, it just seems like an extra step. And I know a lot of that is them. They want to show you them features. You got that Game Pass one. You got the store one. You got the what used to be a Mixer one. They got rid of that, obviously. And so they got a tab for everything they want you to pay attention to in the world of Xbox. And I get that, but at the same time, they could just make a section for their stuff on the home screen as well. So I don't know. I'm not like a designer or anything like that, so I don't have like a better alternative for them to show off all them features. But that is one thing I would like to see go away. Is all. I don't really like the tabs.
Well, it's funny because when I was like breaking down the differences, it wasn't even like me challenging what you said. It's more so I prefer using the D-pad to go up and over and down than moving over from this page to another page. It almost feels like you're separating. It's like the PlayStation Store is separate from everything else, and I fucking hate that. And even though the tabs aren't exactly that, I feel like you're like, okay, fuck the home screen. Now we're at the store. Okay, only store stuff. Fuck that. Go over here to this. And I can't really qualify that opinion. I'm not sure why it's not even that big of a deal. I'm just discussing it. Yeah, for sure. I'm just trying to, like, you brought that up. I'm like, why do I prefer one over the other one so much? Not that different, but I definitely prefer one over the other. So it's interesting.
Yeah, but clutter's the big one. I mean, that is a huge one. Every operating system ever. It's a big reason I hated Windows 8. The big reason I didn't like early versions of the Series X. Not Series X. Xbox One. God, I wish their naming system drives me insane.
Yeah.
And then also even with the PS3, them like separating, like, media's in multiple different spots. Like, why? Like, so yeah. Lessons, obviously, as time goes by and preferences. And I may not be the right person to be asking about this because obviously I'm not like I play everything, but that in the last generation got the least amount of attention from me. So my feedback is it may be valuable to them because I didn't play.
It is valuable to them because Microsoft's a company that wants people who are not playing to play.
But that being said, I mean, I like your PC app, so
yeah,
it functions just fine. So
yeah, it's weird because like the PC experience is great.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have no complaints. Everything works really well. It's really fucking. There's like the videos pop up at the perfect place. I can watch that real quick.
Games on the left, just like Steam or any other portal that you have on PC. So
it's actually like probably my second. I like it better than the Epic Game Store.
I don't even have Epic, so.
And Uplay's gone. They're replacing it with something else. So
yeah.
Anyway, anything else you want to say?
No, let's look.
I think those are all pretty good. I like the direction you went because I was like, I want this, this, and this. You're like, I don't want this, this, and this. So it's a good contrast. All right, let's jump into this and fucking have all of our hopes and dreams fulfilled.
Shattered.
3, 2, 1, go.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Malik Prince, and November 10th is right around the corner. So you know what that means. The launch of the Xbox Series X, our fastest, most powerful console ever, and the Xbox Series S, our smallest Xbox ever, packed with next-gen performance. They're both right around the corner. Super exciting time.
So
today what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through a full demo from top to bottom, unedited, to showcase the entire experience on a full retail unit, by the way, just like the one you get on launch. But of course, I can't do it alone, so with me from the Xbox engineering team, it is Harrison Hoffman. Harrison, how are you?
Doing great. How you doing, Malik?
I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's a new generation of games. We got Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the horizon. Cyberpunk thing coming out. It's a great time to be a gamer.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna get started in just a second, but just want a quick note that even though we're showcasing the Xbox Series X today, we also have the Xbox Series S here, and with both of these consoles, we're really talking about faster load times, higher frame rates, and richer, more dynamic worlds. And so you're gonna see that today. But Harrison, I'm a mind reader. I can tell the comments are gonna be get into it already. So let's do it. Let's get into it.
All right, let's not keep him waiting. Let's turn this thing on.
Good.
Boom.
Here we go.
Again, exciting time for the team. So much work has gone into this. I bet you're pumped.
Oh yeah, I mean, the team's been working on these consoles for years at this point, so we're all just really excited for gamers all around the world to get their hands on it.
Twitch.
I love it. I love it.
So I'm trying to avoid him.
Turn on the console. It's home, of course. So let's walk through what's new here.
First thing here, the team has really spent a lot of time over the last year plus, really simplifying, optimizing, refining the experience on Xbox here to really make it one. Simpler, more accessible for people who are new to Xbox, who might not have ever had an Xbox console before, and then two, to make it a lot more powerful and useful for people who are those upgraders and those kind of loyal Xbox gamers. So when I land here on Home, really the intention of Home is to give you quick access to the games that you were playing recently, as well as give you easy ways to discover new games to play. Yeah,
and I'd be remiss if I didn't call out these sick dynamic backgrounds that I see going on here. What's up with that?
For sure. So this is exclusive to Xbox Series X and S. These are our new dynamic backgrounds here. We have one for each color that you can pick on the system, and we're hoping to add more in the future too.
Love that. Looking forward to that. So obviously launch day, people are probably going to want to play a game or two on their console. So what do you want to play first? Let's jump into something.
Yeah, let's just dive straight into Gears 5 here.
It is definitely clean looking though. I'm pretty happy with it.
The big reason why I wanted to start with this game here, this is obviously a game from the Xbox One generation, and it was really like a visual showcase at the time. Really stunning
like just looking at it, not even touching it right now, I can tell
a lot of great work to really make this game shine on Xbox Series X and S. So they've gone and done all the optimization work for it. We see this game now running at a beautiful 4K 60 here in the campaign, and it's just looking better than ever before. One thing to really call your attention to here are the detail of the textures, and that's because we are actually using the same textures that we use in the PC version of Gears 5 when it's running under ultra settings.
I was about to say the 60 frames per second. I was like, that looks like a PC game.
Now we're able to do on Xbox Series X, so it's really great to see the game just looking phenomenal here.
And in versus multiplayer, that frame rate's going all the way up to 120, right?
So that was actually one of the first things that I did when I got access to this version of Gears, and I fired up the versus multiplayer just to see what the 120 frames per second really feels like. And I think a lot of people can really relate to that jump from 30 to 60 and really being able to feel the difference there. And then going from 60 to 120, it just feels like incredibly smooth. It's kind of like a gameplay experience like I've never had before, honestly.
Nice. Well, I just upgraded my TV, so I'm excited to check that out. All right, so maybe you're playing Gears and you want to check in what your friends are up to, or maybe start a party. So let's check out the guide. What's going on here?
Yeah, so all I have to do here is just hit the Xbox button, and it just pulls up the guide. And you can just think of this as our sort of over game menu. So it's going to come up over the top of any game that you're playing on the system here, and gives you quick access to those things you might want to do while you're actually playing the game. So being able to quickly switch between your games and apps, check out your notifications, take a look at your friends list, your party chats, your messages, your achievements, and really just having all that at your fingertips without disrupting the game at all.
I love it. Let's hit up another game. What do you want to play?
Well, I think we've got to dive into Dirt 5 next.
Let's do it. Dirt 5. I'm excited for this.
For
this is a very beautiful game.
For sure. First thing that I want to call your attention to is we're transitioning here is this little quick resume icon at the top. And
I feel like he slammed like 3 bangs right before they start filming.
It allows you to instantly pick up where you left off across multiple games in the system.
I swear it's the caffeine talking.
If you're like me, like I'm playing 3 or 4 games probably at a time. Maybe some I'm playing with my friends, some's maybe like a more serious game I'm playing by myself. Maybe there's kind of a more casual game I like to jump into occasionally. And I can have all those games like hot and ready to play here. So just quick resuming into Dirt 5, like I'm just right back here in the middle of the race, and everything's just looking phenomenal.
Yeah, I feel like a broken record, but this is stunning. When you get a console on launch, I feel like racing games do such a great job of showcasing.
Was it like up to 6 games can be essentially like running at the same time, and you can just swap
flying everywhere. It's just a really cool showcase of next gen.
Demo for that feature.
But of course,
I think it's cool.
We've talked about this game being on Series X and Series S.
Well,
let's go back in time. Big focus on
I think it's one of those things like touchscreen keyboards. on phones that people rejected, they overthought it, and now it's just standard.
Let's just jump over
that,
to Subnautica,
what they're talking about
which,
here is something that you're not even going to be thinking about. Like,
and,
I don't think it's something you're opting into or not. You're just, when you go back to play whatever game you were playing before, just like when I am playing Ghost of Tsushima, I put my fucking PS4 in sleep mode. When I turn my PS4 back on, I'm just playing Ghost of Tsushima again.
And that's actually all thanks to a new feature that we have, a platform-level feature called Auto HDR. And this does exactly what it sounds like. It adds HDR to games that have never had
regardless if you're shutting the system off or not, all these games are just going to be where you left them. And I can see a lot of people just using that without even going like,
which was a launch day game
I hope it'll stay where I was at. I think they're just going to stop playing and play something else, come back when they go to play a game. There's no load time. There's no boot up.
No, and like I said, I think for a lot of people, it's going to be fine. I like even on my Xbox now, because the Xbox One,
thousands of games across 4 generations.
The game doesn't stop until you switch games or you go and you click the button and you say stop game. And I take that extra step always.
Yeah, for sure. So this is the brand new Xbox wireless controller. So this is going to come with your Xbox Series.
I just see a future where you might not be doing that.
It's also obviously available to purchase separately, and there's a few things.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that, but I'm pretty weird about like.
The first thing is that it feels really comfortable in your hands.
I feel like at some point, even if you think you shut the game off, it's not going to be
controller, listening to fans.
Well, yeah, if I don't have a choice, then it doesn't matter.
I will say I don't see it as a demo thing. I think this is just where people are going to be going with faster processing speeds. There's not going to be a reason to have to shut the game off.
Slightly smaller, so it feels even more comfortable in more people's
hands. And like I said, I'm very much specifically talking about
more accessible to more people, which we love doing.
I think most people.
I know, inspired by the Elite Series 2.
Yeah, something exciting for them.
And on the triggers and bumpers, that's pretty cool.
I don't know if anyone's excited for it. I just think it's just fucking part of the package.
Even if they're terrible,
the future of
like
gaming.
They usually are in multiplayer games. But I know it's quicker than ever to share directly from the Xbox wireless controller, right?
Yeah, for sure. So right here on the controller, we have a new button, and it's called the share button, and it's super useful. All I have to do is just tap it once to capture a screenshot, or press and hold it to capture a game clip. And what this really does is let me keep my focus on the game. So when something awesome happens and I'm like totally freaking out and I need to actually capture that clip, I don't have to take my attention away from the game. I don't have to go into some other menu. I just hit that share button right there and it's automatically captured.
Nice. And we've been talking about speed a lot. Not only is it faster than ever to actually take a clip or a screenshot, but also now it's faster to actually share it to your friends on social media, right?
Yeah, for sure. So when it comes time to share it, I really just go to my phone. I break up my phone. So once I've captured that clip, it automatically gets uploaded to Xbox Live and is available for sharing. I'll get a notification right here on my phone that says, hey, you got a new screenshot that's ready to share. And then I can just share that out to any of my friends or networks that my phone knows about. Like the phone is kind of like the ultimate sharing tool. Like it knows about all the different places that I want to share. So really, I love that we're kind of making this whole process seamless and completing that here.
Nice. And then in that Xbox app, I know there's new features that's been redesigned. Walk us through that.
This is the new Xbox mobile app, and we've actually totally rebuilt this app from the ground up in anticipation of the Series X and S launch. So this is actually the app that you're going to use to set up your new console on day one. You're going to be able to use it to log in your Microsoft account, put in your Wi-Fi password, set up all your settings while your console's taking that day one update. And then after that, your console is really like just linked directly to your phone. So now I can just interact with my console right from my phone. So if I'm out anywhere in the world and I get really inspired about a particular game that I want to go check out, I can go and search for it right here and remotely download it to my console. So when I get home, it's all ready to play. Also, if I don't, if I just can't wait until I get home to play and I really need to get some gaming in, we also have a brand new feature called Remote Play, which is awesome. And basically, this lets you be able to remotely play any game that's installed on my console here via the Xbox app. And all I have to do is just connect my Xbox wireless controller up to my phone, and then I'm just up and playing right here.
I love that. So your experience with the Xbox doesn't end with the TV and the console. It extends to your phone, and that is pretty dope. Okay, so let's find more games. I know Xbox Game Pass is a great way to discover your next favorite game. And directly from home, we actually have content blocks, and Xbox Game Pass is one of them. So let's talk about that.
So as I was saying earlier, really one of the things that we want the dashboard and home to be able to do is to help you find that next thing to play, help you find that next game. So when you're kind of going around looking for inspiration and you're browsing around the dashboard, Game Pass is a big part of that, and we've really built that into the experience. And when I go down from the top of home here, you can see the Game Pass block, and you can check out all of our featured titles, what's been added to the Game Pass catalog recently. When I click into it, you sort of get the full experience and get to look at the full breadth of the catalog here. Be able to go in here, check out the details about one of these games, be able to kick it off for an install if it's looking cool.
Nice. And of course, on November 10th, we have a huge addition to Xbox Game Pass, right?
Yeah, on November 10th, launch day for these consoles, we are adding EA Play to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which gives you access to all those games that are in the EA Play catalog, all the games, all the trials, and you can just play them right here if you have Ultimate.
Does that give me access to Titanfall 2?
It will give you access to Titanfall 2.
Harrison, you just made my day. I'm super excited. So, of course, if a game is not in Xbox Game Pass, you just want to purchase it, then you go over to the Xbox Store, which I hear has been redesigned, of course, speed.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll just pop right into the store here, and the first thing that we really focused on with the new store is speed and performance. We wanted to make sure that it is as fast as possible for you to get into the store and to be able to search for games and find something that you want to play. So you saw how fast that launched. You can see as we're sort of going around here how quick the user interface is to navigate here. If I want to check out more details about a game, maybe I want to see Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I can click into it, check out the details page here, see trailers, information about the game, and kind of everything that I need to decide whether or not
as you stand there talking and look at the screen holding controller, I feel like he's just playing off of a PC. Because it just looks like a tower.
We have brand new advanced networking hardware in both of these consoles that lets us take more full advantage of your home internet connection when you're downloading games. So you're kind of not going to be bumping up against those kind of hardware restricted caps anymore on those downloads, and we'll be able to kind of more fully take advantage of that connection and get you those games faster than ever.
That is dope. And of course, to see all your games, you would head over to My Games and Apps, which I know has improvements on displaying the games, but also on showcasing where those games came from, right?
Yeah, definitely. So if I dive into My Games and Apps, like this is really where I go to see all the games that are installed on my console, as well as kind of see the games that I have access to as well. So just sort of coming into here, these are all the games that I have installed here. You can see kind of how fast all of this is loading. You'll also notice that we have some badges on some of these tiles here that tell you which subscription these games are coming from. So you see Burnout Paradise Remastered coming from EA Play, Doom Eternal, as well as the Outer Worlds coming in from Game Pass. And it's just really nice to be able to scroll through here and just kind of see exactly where everything's coming from.
Yep, and all of those services obviously bring in more games than ever, and you may need a little bit of extra space. So little birdie told me that you have one of those new Seagate storage expansions with you.
I do.
There it is.
Right here. So this is the Seagate 1 terabyte storage expansion card, and I mean this thing is really just like a marvel of engineering. The first time that I saw this, I was just totally blown away. So full terabyte of storage right in here. It plugs directly into the back of the console, and this storage is actually just as fast as our crazy fast NVMe SSD that we have inside the console. So that means that you're going to get those same load times. You're going to get quick resume. You're going to get to be able to play Xbox Series X and S games directly off of this drive.
But then also there's an option if maybe you need to store more games with the regular USB, right?
Yeah, for sure. So especially if you're looking to play backwards compatible games like Xbox One, Xbox 360, or original Xbox games, you can just plug in a USB hard drive like you do today and play any of those games off of here, and then save your kind of faster SSD storage for those next gen games.
I love that. Now that's the first time I'm seeing it. And again, you were right. It is a marvel
play the older
of engineering.
PS4 games
do you mind if I do the honors and plugged it in?
Absolutely. There you go.
Hard drives.
Here we go. Here we go, everybody.
Newer stuff needs faster speeds.
Boom.
Right.
Look at that.
Right.
I did it, and that was fast. There you go. Again, we've been talking about speed this entire time, and almost every part of this experience is that. And so,
Fusion
Harrison,
Frenzy.
this has been fantastic. Thank you for walking us through this entire demo. And again, on November 10th, you're going to get Xbox Series X and Series S. We're really focusing, we've been talking about it, higher frame rates, faster load times, and richer, more dynamic worlds, and thousands of games across generations, including Assassin's Creed Valhalla as a new game and Cyberpunk later on. I'm super excited to play. This has been great, Harrison. Let's just go back and play some Dirt, though.
All right, let's do it.
Is it Cyberpunk for a second? What was that? This isn't a knock against the Xbox. Dirt 5 didn't look that great to me, graphically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a weird choice to be showing off for that. So.
Well, Dirt's always looked really good to me, though, when they come out. So looking at that, I was like, that looks kind of muddy. And again, I don't know if that's just the Xbox or the game in general. But I was just looking, I was like, that looks like it should look better. All right, what do we think?
I think they've made some good improvements on the way the UI looks and functions. I still see they have the games and apps section, which I didn't like before as well. I don't want to have to open an app for the most part to get to my apps. So that extra step's still there, which I think is kind of silly. I think the games and apps should be like the forefront, the point. Like when you turn on the system, they should be there. But otherwise, I mean, it's a nitpick. I mean, it's a button click away. I'm just, if I'm gonna, have some critique about it, that is one thing I'm just not super fond of as myself. I think it's a weird choice. But other than that, I do prefer the up and down menu that they have instead of, which, like we said before, it's all the same thing, whether you use a shoulder button or the D-pad. But now, instead of me having to put those extra steps in, it's all here.
Yeah.
So, and I like that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, some of the stuff that they've carried over from the last Xbox, I'm not necessarily not into it. I just wasn't in love with it then, but I feel like, to the credit of anybody who is, mostly playing on Xbox, that familiarity will be good for them. So, I'm not talking shit about like it's a bad thing. I just, it's not the ecosystem I'm used to, and it's something I wasn't particularly fond of. What I am fond of, though, is I think the new home screen is a huge improvement. I think the dynamic background looks really clean and good. I think that navigating that looks very straightforward and simple. Looks very modern, which I dig. Looks like it's easy to get around, which of course any UI is going to be easy to get around once you get to know it. But it's nice to just look at that and go, okay, I get it. So huge improvement. I like it a lot better than the prior iteration. The share features, I'm glad they went over that. Pretty straightforward. You can press the button or hold the button to do that stuff. I like that kind of stuff. Being able to quickly, I mean, that's one of the things I love. Of course, I deal with my PC as well, but there's a little bit of setup to that. You have to figure what you're going to be like ghosting your gameplay with. But with the PS4, I always loved that. Just with a click of a button, I could fucking record my gameplay or take a picture. And I'm glad that Xbox is getting that as well. It's very cool. When people always go like, well, somebody did it first. I'm like, I don't care. If it's a good idea, everybody should be doing it.
For sure.
Like, so when they're like, share button, I'm like, great. People are like, they stole that. I'm like, I don't care. It's a good thing.
Why would you care?
Well, a lot of people care. Although I don't think they actually care. Performance looks good. 60 frames per second. Really smooth. Graphics look good. I like that it does the remote play, even though I don't see myself doing it too much. I like that it does that. My computer does that, so it's cool to see a console doing that. Yeah, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with what I see here. It looks like a better experience, and I think it's really something. I mean, that's one of my biggest gripes about the original. The multi-state saving or pausing. You expressed your opinion on that, and I'm not really either or on it. When I first heard about it, I'm like, what do you need that for? But the more I've been listening to the conversation of that, I just see inevitably things kind of going in that direction, specifically as we possibly get into faster and faster capabilities when it comes to consoles, and then also streaming. I think you're going to be getting less and less of the loading and menus and main screens and stuff like that, and just getting into the game. I could see game design eventually just getting into the game, and anything you need to do when it comes to those menus, you can just access from the game. A lot of that was built from the limitations of loading, having to load levels, stuff like that. So I could see in the future things going in that direction. Seems like they're kind of getting ahead on that, even though it is, you said, up to like 6.
I think so.
Instances at once.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, we don't know specifically, but I see the point in that. You could be in the middle of a race and go, oh shit, I gotta go, and then you come back home, you're playing Call of Duty, and then you're like, oh fuck, I was doing that race or whatever the hell. You can hop back over. Makes sense. Not something I'm really looking to do, but I could see as you do it here and there, it would just start becoming natural to kind of adjust the way you play now in that way. I don't think PS5 does that. But I mean, there was a time where you had to put in a disc, boot the game up, and play it, And then, eventually they made it so you could play a game, put in sleep mode, come back and play exactly from where you're at. So this is just another step in that direction. As much as I'm not like stoked about it, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's an interesting thing to do. And yeah, is there anything I'm missing? I mean, like it's overall, it seems like a better experience, which I'm happy with.
I mean, really, the only thing you didn't really talk about that I could think of is the app being connected to it on your phone type thing. I didn't bring it up because it's another feature, which is great. Add a bunch of features. Someone somewhere is going to find use in that. I don't care.
Well, and I mean, Microsoft, Xbox, they're all about integrating across everything. So that makes complete sense. I kind of expect that with a lot of things nowadays anyway.
There's so few times where I use someone's phone app as this thing. I'm like, oh, I'll just take care of it on my phone. Most of the time when I'm doing something on my phone, I'll start looking at it. I'm like, I'll just wait till I get home and I can use the device itself. So I find the experience mostly frustrating.
Yeah, not me so much, but I do a little bit of both. Particularly remote downloading games and stuff like that through apps. I don't do it a lot, but I have done it in the past.
I'll tell you right now, Steam needs to update theirs big time because it is.
Well, Steam in general needs to update, and not once every 2 days like they do, and nothing really changes, but in a big way because it is outdated for sure.
Yeah.
As much as I love Steam, and to me Steam is PC gaming, it's old, and it definitely feels like it. So
for sure.
And this doesn't. This looks really cool, and looks like a really good experience. Looks like a better experience, and I can't wait to try it out. Playing games.
Yeah, I'm still curious. I'm going to be trying it out.
Well, I will eventually at some point, somewhere, somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it's my Xbox or someone else's Xbox. Josh plans on buying all the Xboxes.
Yeah. I just know that the direction they're going, obviously, is to just put the games on everything.
Well, they just talked about recently having a fucking stream stick.
Yeah. I kind of figured that was coming. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can play all the games on PC. So as far as the box itself, it's great for people. And I've said this, I think I've said it on the channel, but I know I've said it to people in person. It's a cheap PC to get you that experience still, which I think is amazing. The price point to entry on this gen is awesome. So for the amount of tech you're getting, so.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Both consoles offer a lot for the price point.
Yeah.
It's really kind of crazy because you are catching up to, not the highest end PC gaming experience, but, even 2 years ago, even people on PC right now aren't really experiencing this.
I would say if you go to Steam right now and you go to the statistics page where it'll the average what people are using, that's more than what the average person's using on their PC.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Because, you take in the amount of people, not everyone's going to have a high-end gaming rig.
Right, and not everyone's willing to spend thousands of dollars to play video games. So.
Or somebody who just has a casual PC who's like, oh, I wonder if I can play that game on Steam. And then they find some games that work on their computer on Steam. They're still on Steam. They're still playing stuff. So, the price of entry to get into what I would say would be a pretty premium PC experience when it comes to graphics and frame rate, stuff like that. Really good price point to entry on both consoles for sure. So it's a really exciting console generation
for sure. And so this box existing makes sense still to me. As much as I don't have a personal need because I do have that PC. Not like we just said, not everyone wants, especially with how much video cards are expensive. They went down for a little while and then they just jumped way up. They've come down a little bit, but they're still very expensive.
Buying this thing's cheaper than buying a video card.
Yeah, so. And then the new NVIDIA card coming out is going to be $500
for the card.
For the card, yeah, you're getting a whole system. So there's a
you buy that, you're ready to play.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about with the value aspect. Yeah. You're getting a whole ass computer, $500. It doesn't have the freedom a computer does, but if you're just gaming, great price.
But within the Xbox ecosystem, you're integrated with PC gaming because you can play with friends who are over on PC
for sure
through Xbox Live, and certain games you're going to be able to cross save and stuff like that. So we're seeing more and more of everywhere, but it's just nice to be in that ecosystem, hopping around from your phone to your Xbox to your PC.
Yeah, I mean the only thing you're missing out on is like things that people do on PCs, like music creation, video creation, stuff like that, and you can do some of that on console. But obviously that is definitely still predominantly a PC thing. So,
and Naughty Dog games. But yeah, overall, looks cool. It's a lot better than I was hoping for and expecting. And yeah,
fuck those proprietary memory card things. I get it.
But Xbox loves proprietary stuff.
That's just them making an extra buck.
Yeah. So. Yeah. But oh well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, everyone does it in some capacity. So,
yeah.
And every time, regardless of who it is, I'm going to be like, fuck that thing.
Well, when I first heard about it, I'm like, I don't know about that one.
It's like Nintendo when they're like, we got another attachment for your Transformer fucking Switch or whatever, or 64.
Here's some cardboard to buy.
I'm just like,
you're going to love it.
Fuck off.
Or with fucking PlayStation, hey, buy our PS camera that originally came out on the fucking PS3, and we might be bringing it over. Yeah, and the wand, like all this old ass technology that
keep buying it, please.
Good on you for recycling old tech. Just carry it over if it works. Why? Don't fix what's not broken. But how about some new tech, please? So yeah, everybody does some weird shit.
No, for sure, and it's just part of it. So
yeah. Anything else?
No.
All right, let us know in the comments, what did you guys think of the official next-gen walkthrough for the Xbox Series X and S? Did you like the new experience, the new UI? What about the things that seem familiar to the, I would just say the Xbox ecosystem? They all kind of, out of any of the consoles that have ever existed, this seems to be the most seamless transfer from one generation to another when it comes to Xbox. All consoles, but like Xbox is really kind of going like, all is Xbox.
Yeah,
you're part of Xbox. Like if you're on that Xbox, you're just moving over to more powerful Xbox.
It's almost like it's a company that has worked on operating systems for years and years and years.
Yeah, PC shit. I mean, it seems a lot like that philosophy. So
it is. Yeah.
Excited or not excited? Are you picking up an Xbox? Which one are you picking up, X or S? What do you think about those frame rates? What are you most excited about when it comes to the features? Is there something you don't like about the experience? And what do you think about the phone app? What do you think about the pause state, the 6 different instances, if that is correct, of games that are just kind of paused and you can come back at any time and play them? Are you excited for that? You're not excited for that? You're kind of like me and you're just like, yeah, it's just there. And yeah, let us know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Xbox Series X and S in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out our streams, links down below. We have Discord, link down below as well. You can talk to us anytime, all the time. And we're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And you can support us via Patreon, link down below if you'd like to do that. And we are almost at 2,000 subscribers. Help us get there. We only need 65 people, I think, left. So that'd be pretty cool if we get there before next year. And stay tuned for Game of the Month, because we're going to be letting you guys know how you guys get to pick the Game of the Month in December. It's a community pick, but you can only pick during November. We'll explain that soon. So, yeah, until then, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And have a good one, guys, and take it easy.